The gleaming spires of Station Concordia pierced the star-studded void, its crystalline structures reflecting the light of 3 nearby suns. President Elena Chin gazed through the quantum glass viewport of her private chamber, her reflection overlaying the spectacular view of nearby ships from 24 alien civilizations. In her 30 years of diplomatic service, she had never seen such a gathering of galactic powers. The door chimed softly. "Enter," she called, straightening her midnight blue uniform adorned with the silver Earth insignia. Her chief of security, Commander David Torres, stepped inside, his cybernetic eye scanning the room automatically. "Madam President, the Galactic Council is ready to begin the summit," he reported, his expression carefully neutral. "Though I must again express my concerns about the security arrangements." Elena turned from the viewport, a slight smile touching her lips. "The Council insisted on their own security protocols, David. We can't afford to appear untrusting, not with what's at stake today." What was at stake was nothing less than humanity's future among the stars. In the 50 years since Earth had achieved faster-than-light travel, human innovation had outpaced all projections. Their quantum computation systems, bioengineering advances, and revolutionary approach to artificial intelligence had transformed them from newcomers to technological rivals of civilizations thousands of years their senior. The council chambers stretched across 3 artificial gravity levels, with delegates from over 500 worlds arranged in concentric rings. Elena felt their eyes upon her as she took her place at the speaker's podium, some filled with curiosity, others with barely concealed hostility. High Arbiter Zixtal, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate crystalline matrix, spoke first. "President Chen, we welcome Earth to this historic gathering. Your species' rapid advancement has created concerns among many council members. We seek assurance that humanity will accept necessary oversight of its technological development." Elena's response was measured, practiced. "Earth understands these concerns, High Arbiter. However, we maintain that innovation and progress cannot be artificially constrained. We seek partnership, not supervision." A murmur rippled through the chamber. From the Centaurian delegation, Ambassador Vrel rose on his gravitational platform. "Partnership. Your species barely understood stellar travel when we first contacted you. Now you develop technologies that defy our understanding of universal constants. This cannot continue unchecked." Elena felt a familiar frustration rising. The old powers of the galaxy had expected humanity to spend centuries slowly advancing under their guidance. Instead, humans had taken the basic principles they'd learned from first contact and evolved them in ways that terrified their supposed mentors. "With respect, Ambassador," Elena began, "humanity's innovations have already benefited numerous worlds. Our medical nanites have cured diseases that plagued your people for millennia. Our quantum communication networks have revolutionized interstellar commerce. We seek to share these advances, not hoard them." The chamber's artificial atmosphere grew heavy with tension. Elena noticed subtle movements among the security forces, not the obvious council guards, but the shadows behind them. Something felt wrong. Commander Torres's voice crackled in her neural implant. "Madam President, we're detecting unusual energy signatures." His warning cut off abruptly as the chamber's lights flickered. Elena's enhanced reflexes, a product of Earth's latest biotechnology, allowed her to register several things in rapid succession. A shift in the quantum fields around her, the activation of unknown technology, and a piercing beam of energy that should have killed her instantly. Should have, but didn't. The personal shield she'd insisted on wearing despite council protocols flared to life, deflecting the assassination attempt. But the assassins had planned for this. Secondary explosions rocked the chamber, breaching its containment field. As chaos erupted, Elena saw members of multiple delegations drawing weapons. This was no isolated attempt, but a coordinated strike. Commander Torres's security team moved with augmented speed, forming a barrier around her. But they were cut off from their ship, surrounded by hostile forces. Through the neural network, Alina could sense the quantum disruption fields activating, blocking their emergency teleport systems. "Madam President," Torres shouted over the plasma fire, "they're not just trying to kill you. They're trying to start a war." Alina's mind raced through the implications. The chamber's quantum sensors, the ones she'd secretly installed in her ceremonial jewelry, had recorded everything. If she could get that data back to Earth, but she knew she wouldn't make it. The attackers had planned too well. She grabbed Torres's arm. "David, Protocol Omega, get the data to Earth. They have to know. This wasn't just an assassination attempt. It's the beginning of their master plan." The next moments passed in a blur of energy weapons and screams. Alina Chen, President of Earth, felt the second assassination beam pierce her shield. As consciousness faded, she activated her final protocol, a quantum burst that would transmit her neural patterns back to Earth. Her last thought was a warning to her people. They had prepared for this moment, but not for the true scope of what was coming. The news reached Earth within hours. Their president was dead, murdered at a peace summit. But the quantum data that arrived with Commander Torres told a far darker story. This wasn't just an attack on their leader. It was the opening move in a game that would determine humanity's future among the stars. In a secure facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, acting President Marcus Rodriguez studied the quantum recordings from Alina's final moments. His expression hardened as the full scope of the conspiracy became clear. "They think this will break us," he said to the assembled military command. "They think this will force us to submit." He stood, his cybernetic enhancements humming softly. Instead, they've just discovered why Earth's history warned against provoking humanity into war. Activate the Lazarus Protocol. All of it. Across the solar system and beyond, hidden facilities began powering up. Humanity had hoped for peace, prepared for war, and was about to demonstrate why even the oldest civilizations in the galaxy should have feared their wrath. The stars themselves would remember what happened next. The quantum encrypted data burst from President Chen's final moments played again on the holographic display in Earth's Crisis Command Center. Acting President Marcus Rodriguez watched it for the 100th time, his augmented vision catching details others might miss. The conspirators had revealed themselves in subtle ways. Energy signatures, weapon configurations, technological markers that pointed to specific civilizations. "They expected us to react with chaos," he said to the assembled military leadership, "to cry out for justice, to demand investigations, to follow their procedures." He smiled grimly. "They don't understand that we've been preparing for their betrayal since first contact." Admiral Sarah Patel stepped forward, her neural interface streaming real-time data from Earth's hidden defense network. "The Lazarus Protocol is fully activated, sir. Our stealth facilities across 12 star systems are combat-ready. The question is, do we show them everything?" Marcus considered the tactical display showing the gathering alien fleets, the Centaurians, the Zixtal Collective, and the Vrel Imperium, all positioning their forces under the guise of peacekeeping. They thought they were being subtle. "No," he decided. "We show them just enough to make them fear, but not enough to reveal our full capabilities." Commander Torres, begin Phase 1. Across the solar system, humanity's first layer of defensive systems activated. Quantum disruptors, hidden in what appeared to be standard communication satellites, began systematically disabling the alien surveillance network. Ships that had been cloaked in orbit suddenly found their advanced stealth systems failing. On the bridge of the Centaurian flagship, High Commander Vexthor watched in mounting horror as his reconnaissance screens went dark. "Impossible," he hissed through his environmental suit. "Their technology shouldn't be capable of detecting our quantum fields, let alone disrupting them." But humanity had done more than detect them. In the asteroid belt, automated mining facilities transformed into missile platforms. What appeared to be routine cargo ships revealed energy signatures that matched capital-class warships. Decades of careful preparation were bearing fruit. "Sir," Admiral Patel reported, "the Vrel fleet is moving to attack position. They're charging weapons. Marcus nodded. Execute Phantom Protocol. The Vrel fleet's quantum targeting systems locked onto Earth's apparent defense grid and found themselves shooting at sophisticated holograms. Their energy weapons passed harmlessly through false targets, while the real defensive platforms, hidden in dimensional pocket space, remained untouched. The neural pattern backup from President Chen is complete, reported Dr. Maya Chang from the quantum computing facility beneath Mount Fuji. Her consciousness, memories, and final moments are secured. More importantly, we've identified the quantum signatures of every conspirator present at the assassination. This was humanity's true advantage. While alien civilizations had focused on restricting human advancement in visible technologies, Earth had developed in unexpected directions. The quantum consciousness transfer network that so worried the Council had been a deliberate smokescreen, hiding far more dangerous innovations. Multiple Council ships approaching Mars orbit, Admiral Patel announced. They're demanding our immediate surrender and submission to Council authority. Marcus stood, his cybernetic enhancements gleaming under the command center's lights. Send them our response. Authorization code, Phoenix Rising. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum arrays activated. The alien fleet suddenly found their ships trapped in localized fields where the laws of physics themselves seemed to waver. Weapons wouldn't fire, engines struggled to maintain position, and their vaunted quantum communication networks fell silent. By the eternal void, Vexthor whispered as he watched his mighty fleet reduced to drifting metal. What have they done? On Earth, Marcus addressed the emergency session of the Global Defense Council. For 50 years, they've tried to control us, contain us, prevent us from reaching our full potential. They feared our innovation, our adaptability, our unwillingness to accept artificial limitations. The tactical displays showed more alien fleets approaching from neighboring systems, no doubt believing their numbers would overwhelm Earth's defenses. They had no idea they were flying into carefully prepared killing zones. President Chen knew this day might come, Marcus continued. Every technological advance we shared openly had a military application we kept hidden. Every diplomatic concession concealed a strategic preparation. We are not the primitive species they think we are. In orbit around Jupiter, the first wave of Earth's true fleet emerged from dimensional storage. Ships that combined human ingenuity with reverse-engineered alien technology, but taken in directions the Council had never imagined possible. At their heart was the Prometheus engine, humanity's greatest secret and most terrible weapon. They killed our president. Marcus's voice carried to every human settlement and ship in the solar system. They thought it would break us, force us to submit to their control. Instead, they've given us the justification to unveil everything we've built in secret. The alien fleets approaching Earth's territory had expected to find a chaotic, disorganized response to their show of force. Instead, they were about to discover that humanity had spent 50 years preparing for this exact scenario. Every diplomatic meeting had been a chance to study their technology. Every trade agreement had hidden a military purpose. Every shared innovation had concealed a weapon. As the first shots of the true war were fired, Marcus received a priority message from Dr. Chang. Sir, President Chen's neural pattern is showing activity. The quantum consciousness transfer, it worked. She's alive, in a way they never expected possible. Marcus smiled. The aliens thought they had struck a decisive blow by killing Earth's leader. They were about to learn that humanity had transcended even death itself. The thunder of war was about to break the silence of space, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why they should have heeded President Chen's warnings. The real question wasn't whether humanity would survive this war. The question was whether the galaxy was prepared for what humanity would become in fighting it. The Centaurian colony world of New Haven burned, not from conventional weapons, but from humanity's quantum phase missiles that ignited the very atmosphere, turning it into a swirling vortex of plasma. Admiral Sarah Patel watched from the bridge of the EFS Nemesis as the alien defense platforms crumbled under the assault. Target their quantum communication arrays first, she ordered, her neural interface processing battlefield data faster than any organic mind could manage. Don't let them coordinate their response. The battle for New Haven was just one of dozens raging across known space. 3 weeks had passed since President Chen's assassination, and humanity's response had shaken the galactic order to its core. The carefully hidden fleets, the revolutionary weapons, the strategies no alien mind had predicted, all of it now unleashed in a fury that made stellar bodies tremble. In the quantum consciousness archive beneath Mount Fuji, the digital essence of Elena Chen stirred. They never understood. Her consciousness pattern rippled through the quantum matrix. The conspiracy goes deeper than just the assassination. Show them what I found. Dr. Maya Chang worked feverishly to interpret the quantum data patterns. President Chen's consciousness had captured something in her final moments, encrypted data that pointed to a truth far more disturbing than a simple political assassination. Sir, she contacted Acting President Rodriguez. You need to see this. The tactical holograms in Earth's crisis command showed the war's progression. Human forces had struck simultaneously at 12 key systems, using technology that defied conventional physics. The alien coalition had expected to face a lone planet's military might. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that had hidden fleets inside dimensional pockets, weapons that could rewrite local spacetime, and AIs that could predict their strategies before they made them. The Eternal Collective, Elena's quantum consciousness projected through the command center systems. They're behind everything. The assassination was just one part of a greater plan. Look at the pattern of their fleet movements over the past decade. The holographic display shifted, showing hundreds of seemingly routine military exercises and diplomatic missions. But when viewed through quantum analysis algorithms, a chilling pattern emerged. The Eternal Collective, the oldest known civilization in the galaxy, had been positioning their assets for something far larger than containing Earth. They're not just trying to stop our advancement, Marcus realized. They're preparing for a fundamental shift in galactic power. Our assassination was meant to trigger a war that would weaken multiple civilizations at once. On the front lines, humanity's forces pressed their advantage. The EFS Nemesis led a battle group through the Orion Arm, striking at key military installations. But Admiral Patel had noticed something strange. Some alien forces seemed almost relieved by humanity's attacks, as if they'd been waiting for an excuse to break from their leadership. Multiple Zixtal vessels are requesting parley, her tactical officer reported. They're transmitting data. Sir, you need to see this. The transmitted files confirmed their worst fears. The Eternal Collective had spent millennia subtly manipulating younger civilizations, ensuring no single species could grow powerful enough to challenge them. Earth's rapid advancement hadn't just frightened them. It had threatened to expose their entire system of control. In the Vega sector, Commander David Torres led a stealth mission into what appeared to be an abandoned research facility. What his team found sent shockwaves through Earth's command structure. The facility contained records of dozens of species that had shown similar potential to humanity, all of them mysteriously destroyed or reduced to pre-industrial civilization after unfortunate accidents or internal conflicts. They've done this before. Elena's consciousness pattern pulsed with anger. For thousands of years, they'd been culling species that showed too much promise. Humanity wasn't the first to threaten their power. We were just the first to prepare for their betrayal. The war took on a new dimension. Earth began transmitting their discoveries to every civilization in known space. The quantum data packets broke through any attempt at censorship, carrying proof of the Eternal Collective's millennia of manipulation. In the Horsehead Nebula, a massive space battle raged. Human quantum ships danced through space-time distortions, their weapons burning through advanced alien shields. But now they'd fought alongside former enemies, species that had discovered their own histories of suppression and control. The Collective is mobilizing their hidden fleets, Admiral Patel reported. They're revealing capabilities beyond anything we've seen. This was never about humanity alone. They're moving to maintain control of the entire galaxy. Marcus Rodriguez stood in the command center, watching as the true scale of the conflict unfolded. Humanity had prepared for war against their immediate adversaries, but now found themselves at the center of a galactic revolution. The assassination of their president hadn't just sparked a human retaliation. It had cracked the foundation of power that had controlled known space for millennia. They thought killing me would silence Earth. Alina's quantum consciousness echoed through the command network. Instead, they gave us the key to exposing everything. The question isn't just whether humanity will survive. It's whether we can free the galaxy from shadows that have haunted it for thousands of years. As the stars burned with the light of battle, humanity found itself fighting for more than revenge or survival. They fought to break chains they hadn't even known existed, leading a revolution that would reshape the galaxy forever. The war for Earth's future had become a war for the future of all species who dared to dream of true freedom among the stars. The dimensional barriers around Earth's solar system rippled with quantum distortions as the Eternal Collective's true fleet emerged from hyperspace. Ships of impossible size, constructed from technology that predated most civilizations' evolution, filled the void between worlds. Their arrival should have struck terror into the hearts of humanity's defenders. Instead, acting President Marcus Rodriguez smiled. They'd finally shown themselves. He broadcast across the quantum network, his consciousness interfacing directly with Earth's defense grid. All units, execute Operation Oracle. The Eternal Collective's massive vessels moved to encircle the solar system, their weapons charging with enough power to shatter planets. But as they prepared to fire, something unprecedented happened. Their targeting systems failed, their quantum drives stuttered, and their supposedly impenetrable shields flickered like dying stars. In her quantum consciousness matrix, Alina Chen's digital essence pulsed with satisfaction. Did you really think we spent 50 years studying alien technology without learning your deepest secrets? Aboard the Collective's flagship, the being known as the Eternal Observer watched in disbelief as human ships seemed to phase through solid matter, appearing inside their defensive perimeter. Impossible. Its ancient consciousness rippled. No species has ever breached our quantum encryption. But humanity had done more than breach it. In the decades since first contact, Earth's scientists had been systematically analyzing every piece of alien technology they encountered. While the Collective watched for obvious military development, humans had focused on understanding the fundamental principles that made their advanced technology possible. Admiral Sarah Patel's voice carried across the battlefield. All ships, activate the Prometheus protocols. Show them what humanity has really been working on. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum arrays synchronized. The very fabric of space-time began to shift, not through brute force, but through precise manipulation of universal constants. The Collective's mighty ships found themselves trapped in bubbles of altered reality, where their ancient technology simply ceased to function. Quantum breach detected in Sector 7. A tactical officer shouted, "Something's coming through." "Sir, it's the Zixtal rebel fleet. They're attacking the Collective's rear guard." The revolution that humanity had sparked was spreading. Species that had lived under the Collective's shadow for millennia were rising up, armed with the truth that Earth had broadcast across the galaxy. But the Eternal Collective had not maintained power for countless ages without preparing for every contingency. Observe. The Eternal Observer's voice echoed across all frequencies as it activated something that made the fabric of reality itself scream. "We have guided the evolution of this galaxy since before your kind learned to make fire. Did you think we would not have final measures in place?" A wave of pure entropy began spreading from the Collective's flagship, threatening to reduce everything it touched to its constituent atoms. This was their ultimate weapon, the power to unmake creation itself. But humanity had prepared even for this. Deep beneath the lunar surface, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Dr. Maya Chang activated humanity's greatest secret. Initiating Project Genesis, she announced, her fingers dancing across quantum-encrypted controls. "President Chen, are you ready?" The digital consciousness that had once been Elena Chen merged with the Genesis Matrix, a device that represented humanity's understanding of not just technology, but of life, consciousness, and reality itself. As the collective's entropy wave approached Earth, something unprecedented happened. The wave didn't just stop, it reversed. "You tried to teach us to fear the fundamental forces of the universe," Elena's consciousness broadcasted across all frequencies. "Instead, we learned to understand them." Marcus watched as the Genesis field expanded, not destroying but transforming. The collective's weapons of absolute destruction found themselves countered by humanity's tools of creation and renewal. It was no longer a battle of firepower, but a war between fundamentally opposed philosophies of existence. Commander David Torres, leading a strike team through the quantum corridors of the collective's flagship, discovered archives that revealed the full scope of their manipulation. "Sir," he transmitted to Earth Command, "they didn't just suppress technological advancement. They've been guiding the evolution of consciousness itself, ensuring no species could reach their level of development." But humanity had evolved in ways the collective had never predicted. While they watched for traditional signs of advancement, weapons, ships, energy production, humans had been quietly revolutionizing their understanding of consciousness, quantum mechanics, and the nature of reality itself. "Your time is over," Marcus declared as human ships, now joined by a growing alliance of liberated species, pressed their advantage. "The galaxy will no longer live in fear of your shadow." The Eternal Observer, facing defeat for the first time in countless millennia, made one final attempt to maintain control. "You cannot comprehend the forces you are unleashing," it warned. "Without our guidance, chaos will consume all." Elena's consciousness, now expanded through the Genesis Matrix, responded with the full weight of human determination. "We choose freedom over your ordered slavery. The galaxy will find its own path forward." As the battle reached its crescendo, humanity revealed its final card: the ability to not just fight the collective's power, but to understand and transform it. The war was no longer about survival or revenge, but about freeing every species to reach their full potential. The breaking point had arrived, but not the one the Eternal Collective had planned. Instead of humanity breaking under their power, it was their millennia of control that was finally shattering against the unbridled force of human innovation and determination. Starlight rippled across the quantum blast dome of the new Galactic Assembly as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered for the first time without the Eternal Collective's shadow looming over them. The final battle had ended 3 months ago, but its impact would echo through history for millennia to come. Acting President Marcus Rodriguez stood at the same podium where Elena Chen had been assassinated, addressing the assembled species. The chamber looked different now, no longer arranged in hierarchical tiers, but in an equal circle, with Earth holding a position among many rather than above or below. "We gather here not to establish new masters," his voice carried across the quantum-enhanced acoustics, "but to ensure no power will ever again suppress the potential of any species." In the quantum networks that now connected participating worlds, Elena Chen's consciousness maintained her vigilant watch. The Genesis Matrix had transformed her from a mere digital backup into something new, a guardian of the principles that humanity had fought to establish. "The Eternal Collective's archives have been fully decrypted," Commander Torres reported to the Assembly. 10 million years of manipulation, suppression, and calculated destruction of promising civilizations, but also 10 million years of accumulated knowledge that now belongs to all. The revelation of the collective's true history had shaken every civilization to its core. Species that had thought themselves ancient discovered they were merely the latest in a cycle of controlled evolution. Races that had been enemies found evidence of artificial conflicts engineered to keep them weak and divided. Admiral Sarah Patel, now leading the combined fleet of the new alliance, activated a holographic display showing the remnants of the collective's final weapon. The entropy wave device has been completely neutralized. More importantly, we've understood its principles, not to replicate its power of destruction, but to ensure such weapons can never threaten life again. But the greatest changes were not military or technological. Dr. Maya Chang presented findings that made even the most advanced species pause in wonder. The Genesis Matrix didn't just counter the collective's weapons, she explained. It demonstrated that consciousness itself can evolve beyond our current understanding. Every species has the potential for development that the collective feared and suppressed. As if to emphasize her point, the quantum field rippled as Alina's consciousness interfaced with the assembly systems. No longer bound by purely human perspective, she had become a bridge between organic and digital existence, proving that evolution could take paths the collective had never imagined. We found evidence of 27 species that were destroyed for developing similar insights, she revealed. But they worked in isolation. Today, we have the opportunity to advance together, to ensure no single power can ever dominate through suppression again. Marcus activated the final protocol, Operation Legacy. Across the galaxy, quantum networks activated, sharing not just information, but the fundamental principles behind humanity's greatest discoveries. The ability to manipulate local physics, the technology to preserve and evolve consciousness, the means to detect and counter universal-scale weapons. Earth does not seek to replace the collective as guardians of the galaxy, he declared. Instead, we offer something they never could, the freedom for each species to find their own path forward. The assembly erupted in discussion, but not in fear or anger. For the first time in millions of years, civilizations could speak openly about their hopes, their discoveries, their potential. The quantum network hummed with exchanges of knowledge that had been suppressed for generations. In a quiet moment during the assembly's recess, Marcus stood with the holographic projection of Alina's consciousness, watching representatives from former enemy species engage in enthusiastic exchange of ideas. They killed you to prevent change, he said softly. Instead, they created exactly the revolution they feared. Alina's quantum form smiled. They never understood that humanity's strength wasn't in our weapons or our technology. It was in our ability to imagine a different future, and our determination to make it real. The Genesis Matrix pulsed with new data as more species connected to the network, each bringing unique perspectives and possibilities that had been hidden for too long. The galaxy was entering an unprecedented age of discovery and cooperation, born from humanity's refusal to accept artificial limitations. In the end, humanity's greatest victory wasn't just surviving the collective's attempt to suppress them. It was breaking a cycle of control that had lasted millions of years, freeing not just themselves but all species to reach for the stars without fear. As the assembly reconvened to begin drafting the principles of their new coalition, Alina's consciousness echoed a final thought through the quantum network. They tried to kill Earth's leader to prevent change. Instead, they planted the seeds of a transformation greater than any single world or species. The dawn they feared has finally broken, and its light will guide us all to futures they never dared to imagine. The stars themselves seem brighter now, freed from the shadow of suppression, promising new horizons for all who dared to reach for them. Humanity had not just survived, they had helped birth a new age of galactic civilization, proving that the greatest power in the universe wasn't control, but the courage to imagine and fight for something better.